Again, we're only doing a part 2. Cap on 20 minutes, okay? Angels of light and love, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages. My chakras, my auras, my space, my work, my essence, health, and wellness, and that of my children's. All right, I'm going to finish this up. All right. How do I portray myself to new people? Aiming for honesty here and accuracy. Someone that's about to birth something. You know, it's about to come to fruition. Also, this is not our first time at the rodeo. That was the first message that I got here. So being so, we have a lot. We're more aware of the things that we need to pay attention to. There are other facets than just what's right in front of us in order to care for what's right in front of us. Or actually, I have to speak for me. I have to speak for me first. But nothing is an error here. So there's also a lot of learning capabilities here. It looks like Moon has turned into Saturn. A little hazy there. But we have 5 stars out there, which indicates roughly the 5 of Pentacles combined with star energy, solar, so it's kind of like wand. So there's something about a playful nature and the way we come to bat for our arena, our space. Yeah. So that's how we portray, or how I portray myself to new people. That's a lot. That's a whole load of information. That's something that you wouldn't expect out of, no offense, but not out of like the range of a 20-year-old within that decade. So someone that's experienced, but yeah, but has that delicate touch in order to care for others. So yeah. So this whole birthing thing, something that's about to come to fruition is what others see in us, on top of what we portray, or what I portray. Okay. Oh, this is good. Oh my God. Talk about wealth. Stacks on stacks. What I portray to the world is, to new people, is highly abundant. This is earned income. Some might be inherited, but mostly this is stuff that's like in the live era, basically. Definitely. So basically unlimited sources of income, the ability to generate that, and the doing so. This is on the inbox. This is what's about to be received. That's amazing. Okay. I mean, I don't know if like I flaunt it. I mean, I do wear a lot of this stuff, but if you really think about it, okay, we could part from this world at any time. Why am I going to save this or that? Like, I might as well use what I've got in the here and now. It serves a purpose. I feel better with it on. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't need to validate it, but yeah. What do I portray to new people? Quite a bit. Someone who's parting with ways. About to start a new connection that's solid, but also one that's leaving. Someone that has history, basically. Yeah, getting out of being stuck, being freed, basically. One that has a, somewhat of a burden to carry, but in the mode of creation. It's all for a purpose, but there's like just shining, just blessed by the gods, blessed by true divine source, celestial realm, divine downloads that are just absolutely magical, like surrendering to it. Like, see, it's a shower. It's, oh yeah, shower with wealth. There's crops of corn and grapes and just absolute sustenance. About to start a new journey, and speaking of the new journey, being able to, there's some trip ups on the there's a few stumblings on the way, but it's kind of people see, or how do I say it? What I portray to new people is that it's okay to take a look at yourself and like laugh at yourself. That even in king status, even within royalty, I still experience the same, very similar ongoings of what everybody else does. So to be able to take a good look at myself and not scold or feel embarrassed or anything of that sort. Like, I grew from that. So this is one that's very open-ended in order to get this. Excuse me. About to take a leap of faith, basically. But it's something that's definitely due. You see, it's kind of like Jiminy Cricket. You're kind of motioning, like follow the leader, and then it leads to here. So, oh my gosh, it's just about to take a leap. You see, like follow the leader, right? And then it leads to here, like kind of a directional type of orientation from the divine. And then I jump over, but like I fall on my ass, and I land here. So it's like, look at all the stuff that you've been through, dude. Seriously. This is wonderful. So what I portray to the world is that despite the ongoings of hardship and having to leave this perception of what we once knew before to be happiness, and feeling betrayed that it wasn't, that it, there was a lot more digging to do, a lot more work, that you can still arrive to this area of absolute success, like happiness. It's the TJOEW is, how do I say it? Like, you don't know until you know. And that kind of innocence is something to kind of you make peace with. Yeah, I feel like that. Because I don't stumble upon those pictures, like the tens of thousands of pictures, family pictures, extended family pictures. I don't look at them anymore and feel, I mean, whenever I stumble upon them, especially like if they're on my Google timeline or whatever, or social media timeline, I don't feel a distaste for them. It just feels like an old way of life where I was not aware. I was not as involved with my personal life, that I was really trying to work towards something in my professional life, and you can't work from the outside in. That's what I've learned, that you have to prioritize accordingly. And seeing that, like, it took a huge turnaround. So I think how I portray myself is having this visibility of not just a fragment of the story, that it's a huge benefit to see it from like front to back cover, and then know that it's just one volume out of like a collective series. And so it's kind of, this is beautiful. All right, so now that we're 11:22 in, we're going to see how we portray ourselves. Okay, we're gonna share the form. How do we portray ourselves to new people? Okay, so again, a Fool here, on paths, but it's in reversal. Okay. Oh, so there's kind of like the hangman status in the royalty factor there. So there's a sense of enlightenment that we can go incognito when we need to, but there is a sense of it's not just like bourgeois royalty. This is holding command in not having to micromanage. So that's a king that's in hangman status, objective, whatever, is going through kind of like the dark night of the soul, but in plain view of the world. So not caught up in the cave, not shameful, whatever. They got to do what they got to do. We got to do what we got to do in order to see things more constructively, in order to be effective, to be able to take effective action. So being that it's in reversal, life's little hang-ups, what is perceived on the outside, the way we portray ourselves, is like it's no bother to us how anybody thinks of what it looks like when we take a pause on our journey, because there's an honor system basically in our experience where we develop through that interim stage of absorbing the light from within. So this is a sense of being enlightened from going from I almost heard subjecting ourselves to such a stance, almost inaccessible. So there's a sense of sacrifice in what we do in order to better manage without all the fluff and all the extras. Like when people, how do I say it? When we present ourselves, like, or when anyone presents themselves as a king, like within their high seating, and they stay in that role and they just kind of like act the part 24/7. People like the underlings or even peers feed into that. So they kind of feed into that ego of within what's expected of that role. So you never really get a good comprehension of other people's like motives or what inspires them, etc. So there's an element of sacrifice in being able to like push back sometimes, for the sake of perspective, and for the sake of respecting what no means. You know, when it's firm, it's firm. And so we portray ourselves in that manner. We hold ourselves to that regard. I like it. Okay. Ooh, there's like a, what do you call it? Shaka Khan is what I'm hearing. The thunderbolt in the distance. I don't know why I heard Shaka Khan, but it's like that's. So that's what the journey looks like. It's kind of jagged as we move closer to the horizon. So there's something very striking about to happen for us, and that's how we portray ourselves. Like when we walk our path, it's not like careless. Like the nonchalant part of us is not careless. It's very purposeful. Like we know what's coming up ahead. And we respect the nature of its surprise. So we got that little smirk going on over here to ourselves. Like, yeah, I know I'm walking into this, like, this storm. Yeah, I know what the eagle spirit totem is all about. You want to join me? Care to join me? All right. Okay. Okay, we got like less than 5 more minutes. Okay. So how do we portray ourselves to new people? Whoopee. Oh, Buddha. Buddha. This is the first time I've received this card. Where we stand. Like it's what we believe in, like how we carry on is very obvious to others. You know, it's like shh, shh. Quiet for a second, okay. Some of you may be teachers too, because there are times when teachers go through like hectic stuff, and that seems to be on a regular, depending on the quantity of the volume of who they teach. And so, especially like in an auditorium or like a gym, area, a lot of whispers, like just a couple of whispers carries a long way. So there's a lot of that disturbance, and it can it can cause room for distraction and annoyance, because there's certainly an agenda, there's purposefulness in knowing what we have to what is meant to be conveyed. So because of that, we have a very good internal reserve, good command of understanding what those pitfalls may be in larger forums or even intimate ones. Like, let's say we're teaching like a class of 2, let's say, and one is discussing, like just kind of whispering to another. That's an interruption in itself. Like, who else do you have to work with? So we understand those pitfalls of like letting our nerves get to us. So there's this part where we know ourselves well enough to be like, so there's that, okay, in the way we handle our meditative states, our needs, okay, which is meant for the greatest good. We have 7 flowers here, 7 of cups on the base of this seating, and this generated multiplied here. So this is being very decisive about when we have to call a timeout, basically. And that's very well respected. Like, people see the context of our cues, even with very little direction, very little hand holding. The context of how we portray that, we're very good communicators in relaying context. Very good. Very good. Okay. One last card. Oh yeah, it's 1930 now. Okay, one more. Closing thoughts, Spirit. Let's just go with that. Closing thoughts. How do we portray ourselves to you? The ever-expanding. The ever-expanding you. Okay, so these 2 cards, it's kind of like back-to-back. Oh. Okay. Oh, so this is being able to overcome addictions and obsessions, and we know that it's like we know how to manage this so well because it's kind of been at our shoulder in different phases of our lives. But yeah, there's that. And So, the way we portray ourselves is kind of like there's a huge contrast, like a black and white type of version, like day and night, all good, not so good, when it's kind of like an upright. So here, looking at this flat out context, how we portray ourselves to spirit, like that's the final thoughts on this, is that we've come a long freaking way. So again, we went with that primary context, but it's also allowing us to build new relationships, better relationships. This is on the up and coming, you know. Yeah. So historically speaking, we used to be kind of like a follower, okay? But now, this is an abundant card in being able to lead others. So that's up and coming. Like, we're going to be able to lead far more than what we're accustomed to through portals. You see that? Interesting. Very, very nice. Okay. Bottom of the deck closure is, oh, it's kind of like the Empress, but it's maiden status, you know? I feel like it's kind of the Queen of Cups, but also, yeah, kind of like the Queen of Cups. Do you see that? So, there's a jump, like a timeline, I don't know, like a trajectory jump in like promotion status. So, whoa, yeah, that's good. Again, we were talking about the same theme of moving from Queen of Cups to Empress status. So do you see like highly abundant in the feels? Yeah, this is a transiting point, a transition. So the way we portray ourselves to spirit is like well worthy of these earnings, of what's coming through. And it's almost like when the release, the opening of a dam, so it's almost, it's kind of unstoppable, you know? So, you know, there's nothing to worry about over here. So to release any possible worries. Obviously, oh yeah, so you can rest and be chill, you know? Take care of yourself. Yeah. So that's wonderful. Okay, I think that's it. So now that this reading is officially over, I thank all my sponsors and supporters. All donations provided in light and love. They are received and employed accordingly, if not amplified. Excuse me. So, upon closing all portals within this reading, I send all energies back with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with that rollout. In light and love, I close these portals.